Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I just share some of the thoughts, ideas that have been going through my mind, or some of the things that have been going on in my life. And in today's video, first of all, I just want to give a quick update about something that I mentioned in yesterday's video, which was that this morning I had uh, a small, like an interview at another tech company. Uh, I think it went well. It was a phone screen, so basically this one unlocks the longer round of interviews. So I think probably, I hope I passed. Uh, but if I did pass, probably this will unlock like 4 more interviews. So yeah, that's gonna be something interesting to do. I'm practicing a bit some of my coding skills here and there, and I mean, if not for the opportunity, I also see this as an opportunity to just practice my interviewing skills and like stay sharp and like just build a base of basically like maintain my base level of reasoning, of algorithmic reasoning, all that stuff. So yeah, it's a skill that comes in handy. Uh, so that's the first thing. The second thing is that I've had a pretty interesting day with work. I mean, had a few things to do. But honestly, today the load was not that bad. I think yesterday I spent all day at my desk working on closing off this uh, document, but it's not exactly a document because it's like basically steps of executing like some manual procedures that we have, and basically we have to get it approved because we are applying the manual procedures to deploy some code changes. And yeah, it's a pretty long process, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out because this is the first time that I'm doing one of these documents all by myself. Um, so yeah, it's interesting to like basically yesterday the whole day I was just getting feedback, applying the feedback, and then sending for review again. Getting feedback, applying feedback, and sending for review again. So basically, it was a lot of back and forth. But yeah, it made the whole document better, and I'm happy that I got all that feedback, and it also gave me some insight into um, like how like the variables that we need to consider when doing a launch, especially that these were not parts that I had to take care of in previous launches that I participated in. And so it's interesting to see how my code change goes from just me doing the code and then getting the code reviewed in a way. And then now it's like we need the to determine which pipelines we need to deploy to and which pipelines that we need to make sure that this absolutely gets to, because uh, it's a feature that's used, it's a change that's used both in the front end and the back end, so you need to make sure that it reaches both of them. Anyway, it's a big headache, and then you need the alarms and the stuff to make sure that if something goes wrong, you know why it went wrong, and then you have to have a rollback procedure if something goes wrong, and etc., etc., etc. But yeah, it was good to do it for this time, and I feel like I learned a lot in a very short period of time. So happy with that. Um, Today, yeah, just not that much going on. A few things that I needed to learn also, but it was fun because I actually, for the first time in a really long time in my day job, I used Python, and Python is the language of my heart. It's like I love this language so much. Like if I could work in Python every single day, I would just be so happy because I don't know, for some reason it just brings me joy. Maybe I'm biased because it's the first language that I ever learned, but also because it's really easy and really fun to use, and it doesn't have too much headaches, and it's really easy for me anyway to use. So yeah, a huge love message too. something that's not actually physical, it's a language. It's a programming language. So yeah, that's kind of funny. Next up, went to the gym, did a 5K run today on the treadmill, which was fun. I'm kind of basically I'm only doing these runs right now because I have my monthly Apple Watch challenge. That's to have 7 runs in the month. Because last month I was running a lot because I was preparing for the half marathon, and so I'm glad actually that this was my monthly challenge, because I would probably wouldn't have run again after the half marathon. So yeah, it's cool to realize that actually I enjoy this activity, which is running. Maybe I can keep it, you know, as a regular thing in my workouts, I guess. Because basically, like when I was training for the half marathon, I was running every day. But now I'm doing it on the days on which I don't have a gym class. So basically, I go to gym classes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, or like depending on if I have something on Friday evening, which I did last week, I went to the gym class on Thursday. And then on Friday, I had a lighter gym session where I just did some rowing. But basically, the other days of the week, so Tuesday, Thursday, and the weekend, I usually don't do any gym classes. So my hope and plan is to do these runs. I mean, it doesn't have to be a 5K run, it can be just like a 20-minute run. I mean, for me, my 5K takes like a little over, I don't know, 30, around, like my fastest one I think is 37 minutes. Which is good because I'm not, I mean, I could run faster, but that's not the point. The point is just to keep running over the long period of time. Like I could run faster in one instance, but that would make the experience painful for me, and that would make me less likely to want to run again. And so with like with all of my fitness goals, honestly, my main goal is just to keep showing up and basically not push myself too much in the short term, so that I can make it sustainable in the long term, and so that I can make it so that I'm not dreading the gym session, and that basically it's the fine line between pushing yourself but not making it too painful that you don't want to ever work out again. So yeah, this is the strategy that I'm going for. I mean, that I've been trying for the past 6 months already. So yeah, it's been working quite well. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's a habit now. I would just say that it's more of a ritual, and I'm enjoying it, but I still have to stay intentional about making sure that I uh, tick my boxes and like keep going to the gym. So yeah, it's been kind of interesting. Also, I really enjoy like these runs and everything, because I listen to podcasts during the runs, and uh, today I listened to a podcast with on the Diary of a CEO podcast. By the way, I like they released the conversation cards today, and I ordered 2 decks uh, because I really wanted to have them, because I've seen like some of the questions that are in the decks, and this is exactly something that I want, and maybe I can use them also for my podcast as like a list of questions that I can ask my guests, hopefully when I do uh, when I do start it. So yeah, I'm always on the hunt for interesting questions to ask people, and so that's why I bought 2 decks, because I want to have one as a like as a backup, or yeah, I kind of want to have one as a backup because I I see the value in having a deck of questions, and basically I can have one with me on the go, and that I can use when I feel the need to use it, and then I can have one here at home where it's reliably in one place, and I don't have to uh, worry about losing it. So yeah, I ordered those. Hopefully they don't get lost in the mail. But yeah. Anyway, the podcast episode that I was listening to today was uh, like episode 256 on the Diary of a CEO podcast. So with Dr. Mindy Pelz. And yeah, it's just was quite interesting that there were there was some talk about intermittent fasting, like fasting in general, which is something that I've been trying out here and there, especially because I have this glucose monitor, and I'm using the app Very to keep track of my food, and basically have a metric around how good my food is just by using my continuous glucose monitor here. Uh, People always ask me if I'm diabetic, but I'm not. I'm just a geek. I love metrics, and I love using data to influence my behavior. That's why I have an Oura Ring and an Apple Watch also. So yeah, my first wearable in a way was the Apple Watch, and then I got the Oura Ring, and then I started getting these continuous glucose monitors. And honestly, it has really influenced a lot the way that I eat, and the kinds of foods that I eat. And yeah, I think it has improved my health for the better. So I definitely recommend you go check one out, because basically at some point, like I was getting fitter, and I was getting better sleep, but basically the only factor that I could not get a handle on was the food that I eat, because basically there was no easy way to track it. That would basically it's always painful to track calories and stuff, and so I would never do it. It's so painful, and yeah, I just didn't like it at all. So basically, the closest thing that I could find to measuring my food is by having this continuous glucose monitor, and basically, in a way, it gives me like a metric that I can follow. Obviously, there is the bacon problem, that if you only eat bacon, then your blood glucose will never go up. But is that nutritionally is that actually good for your body? Not exactly sure about that. But yeah, like that's just something to keep in mind when uh, optimizing over one metric. Uh, you have to be aware of the edge cases for which this metric is not exactly does not apply, and basically know what the downsides of optimizing for that metric are, and basically just try to find something that works, that's not too extreme. So yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I've been listening to a few podcasts. Also, Ali Abdal's podcast resumed today, so I listened to his latest episode with Sahil Bloom. The episode's name is 9 Systems to Build a Life of Abundance, with Sahil Bloom. Very, very interesting topics that makes that made me question a lot of things, especially my relationship with my family. And there is this one thing that he mentioned, that if you visit uh, yeah, if you visit your parents, it's kind of a painful thing to know. If you visit your parents only once a year, uh, then I mean, depending on what age you are, but if your parents are like I don't know, 60 or 70, then you only have 15, like you will only visit them, like you will only have 15 times to visit them left in your whole life. And that's kind of a bit weird because, I mean, you spend a lot of, like, growing up, I mean, I spent 17 years under, like, almost 18 years under my parents' roof, and like, uh, they were such a big part of my life. And now it's starting to feel like they are less of a big part of my life, and mostly because I haven't gone back to Morocco in like the past 6 months. I mean, I'm going back soon. I'm going back at the end of this month, but it does feel like we've been kind of drifting apart. Like there is not much um, conversation topics that I can have with them. But I guess that has always been the case. It's just that like by living in proximity, like there is this forcing function of living together, and so you always are talking about stuff, even though I never truly felt like connected to the stuff that we're talking about. I mean, there is still this connection, and I'm kind of questioning that, like, because right now I can choose to focus my efforts on the things that matter to me. I just feel like I'm so disconnected from like their view, their world, that it's hard to find common ground to talk about things, and that's kind of a hard thing because I'm I'm getting emotional because I really do love my parents, and yeah, I wish we had a better relationship. Um, but yeah, I'm just wow. I was not expecting this, but it's kind of a tricky topic because I owe so much to them, and yeah, I don't want to be disconnected from them, but it's just that they're living uh, in a completely different world than I am, and I'm not exactly compatible with the world that they're living in. I always felt out of place growing up, and now that I finally feel like I'm starting to find my place because I live in a world of my own making. Uh, there is this disconnect with my parents, especially, and I feel like they struggle to understand my world, but I also my tolerance for uh, the world that they live in is lower in a way, uh, and yeah, just trying to find a middle ground where I can spend time with them, but I don't want to go back to a situation where I don't feel uh, like I don't feel I can be myself, and uh, in a in an environment where I don't feel like I fit in, and so yeah, it's kind of a hard topic because I really do love them, and I'm so grateful for everything that they have given me. And I wish we can find like a middle ground where I can visit them often and spend time with them often, but then again, not feel not feel out of place, like just maybe have some boundaries, because yeah, I mean, there are no boundaries when I go to Morocco, or like it's like I'm a like I'm very very introverted, in the sense that I really like to spend time alone, and for them it's like yeah, you always have to be together, and like I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but their expectations of me are different than what I like to live, how I like to live in a way, and basically, yeah, uh, it's just like kind of painful to have expectations of you, because like those expectations make me act in ways that are not aligned with my truest self, and uh, I don't really like that. And so, given that I'm trying to live an aligned life, that makes it hard for me to uh, to be in their world. But it's okay. I mean, let's see. I mean, also obviously it didn't help that this year I couldn't take that many vacations. Like actually, I couldn't take any vacations at all, almost. Um, since January, because I was changing contracts, and in the new contract, like I couldn't take vacations before June, and now it's finally June, and now I would finally be able to take vacations, but I will only take vacations when they will be going to vacation, so that I can travel with them. So yeah, hopefully next year I'll be going back more often. I mean, at least not wait 6 months before I go back. Uh, but actually, I did see them when they came to visit me and my sister in Paris. So, so yeah, but that was a bit like it was only for a few days, and like it's not a great experience when we're all living cramped in like one like. My sister's apartment, and it's like we're all on top of each other. I'm like completely uneasy, because I'm just like uh, I need my personal space, and I need to be alone and like have my boundaries, but it's almost impossible in that setting, so that makes it very also not enjoyable, and I'm able to connect with them less. But yeah, I mean, let's see how it goes when I go back. I hope to spend some good family time with them, and like reconnect a bit. And yeah, it's kind of a hard topic, because mm, there there are a lot of things at play, and so it's not exactly easy to talk about. But yeah, uh, yeah, I think that's all I had to talk about for today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. You can click here to watch my previous video on the channel, so the one right before this one, and you can click here to watch my latest video on the channel. So yeah, I hope you have a fantastic rest of day, night, whichever time of day it is where you are right now. Bye for now, and I hope and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye!